everybody, welcome back to Rusty and Nellie's Jungle. Today we thought we'd give you a little tour of the gardens.
Okay, so here we are. This is the first time that we've ever done a garden tour.
It is.
And we'll probably try and do a quick garden tour, and then we'll do, updates on certain gardens. So this is Hosta section. It's really the hands, if you've seen the other videos, holding up the world, which is right here. More of the entrance to the garden. What's over here?
The English garden is over here.
This is the English garden, flanked by two beautiful lions. And this garden's quite old. It could be 10, 11 years old.
Parts of it.
Yeah, although we split a lot of stuff. We got some weeding to do. Pay no attention to the weeds. Got a nice fountain here that Nellie has loaded with succulents. They seem to be doing fine.
They're doing fine. The reason they're doing okay out here unprotected is simply because I use the Jack's Bonsai mix to plant them in rather than soil so that they weren't holding on to any moisture.
We can pretty much water them every day, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Won't hurt them at all.
So English garden, we'll maybe come up here. And this way is the Enchanted Garden. Well, we're not going that way right now. We will. We want to show you the rest of the garden that you've never seen. And this wall used to be the edge of the woods. That grass in there would have been woods. This would have all been woods. And over the years, we work very hard trying to make this garden bigger. And this was the edge of the garden. And the garden, yeah.
Overgrowth and cleaning out.
Crazy.
Stabby vines and.
So cool smoke bush, probably 3 or 4 years old, and that's a big hydrangea tree that's hasn't quite, that's one of the pink ones, hasn't quite come in yet. Okay, and we're going to take you in that section in a bit. How about we do the rock garden?
Rock garden is only a couple of years old. It's placed on a rock underneath a grouping of apple trees that never fruit. We'll need to do some pruning in there.
We'll take a walk on the outside and then we'll come down the center. This is one of my favorite right here, the variegated sedum sunset.
So this corner, this section where this is all planted was a complete overgrowth of raspberry vines, thorn vines, all sorts of weeds. And I got sick of looking at it one day. Here goes our bunny.
Chase the bunny, sorry.
Probably just got caught in the cannas again. Guys, the smell going past these roses is phenomenal.
These are explorer roses. You can't kill them. They just multiply.
No, I just trim them down like a hedge and then let them do what they want.
Sempervivum, naturally growing. Everything seems so happy. And the rosebush arbor. And this center path you're going to fill in with a different color mulch?
Yeah, this is going to be a black mulch through the center just to kind of define the pathway to walk through. But that's going to come along after I get these apple trees pruned.
Some of the colors on some of this, just deep purple. So this will be
sedums.
Yeah, there's everything you can think of in here.
These are my hardy succulents.
And in the fall, it's stunning. It's a red, beautiful garden. Okay, so that's the rose garden.
No,
Sorry,
That's the rock garden.
it's not the rose garden.
That's not the rose garden.
Oops. So this is Canna Crossing. So you've probably seen the videos of us plant this, but they will grow 6 feet.
They will get taller than me, yes.
Yeah, so we've got the Canna, it's just,
They just need heat.
yes. And this is Hydrangea Limelight right in the center. And then we have this backdrop of green ones, and then behind that, we have the red ones, which the bunnies are lunching on. And then behind that, we have the tiger eye sumac, which becomes a beautiful neon color in the summer.
That was a point of contention at first, but I've grown to like it.
Yeah, I got that, and Nellie was like, no sumac on this property.
We have enough sumac that I'm constantly pulling up, but that one's actually a pretty sumac, so.
Cool. So we've got another limelight hydrangea, 2 smoke bushes, one of the purple ones and one of the neon, and we just put them together to give you that contrast. This one is a year or so older than this one. So we planted that, and we were trying to figure out a spot, and Nellie thought it'd be a good contrast. So, and it is. It even highlights the maroon, makes it even look that much better. This
bush is going to come out this year when I find something to replace it with.
This guy's growing great. It's one of those blue spruces. And we've got a border of red cannas that go behind it, and they actually will grow 6-7 feet. And again, do the same sort of contrast with that plant. And an independent smoke bush. And those will be very big
That
soon.
guy stayed tiny forever.
Yeah. Nice bed of hostas. We planted this last year, so you know, it usually takes about 3 years for them to be not bad in size, so we've got another year to wait for them. We got this great big pine tree. Okay, our pergola. This is kind of a new thing. Nellie's got some stuff she just planted this year. Okay, so what do we got here?
This is my Blue Moon Japanese wisteria.
Wisteria.
And I'm super excited for it to grow up and have that dropping of purple flowers all down it.
And you've got another one here?
Yeah.
So both of them are going to climb up.
Yeah, I originally had honeysuckle at the back, but I changed my mind when I bought those. So the honeysuckle got moved.
Cool. And that right there is a wall of hydrangea right there.
And grass.
And grass, yeah, hasn't been weeded yet. These are climbing hydrangeas, right?
These are climbing hydrangeas, yes.
And did they climb? We've had them, I think 3 years maybe.
They climb-ish. They're very slow growers.
Okay, so we've got some agave.
Pay no attention to the bench that needs to be repainted.
Yes, so that's the agave Americana. I'll put it on regular size. That's it. I had you on wide zoom, so that's the actual side, and that's the Americana variegata. And we've just got them outside in the pots, and they're happy.
They like it out here in the equator zone.
Before we go too much further, we do have this smoke bush, smoke tree, smoke whatever, and it was only maybe a foot big when we got it. It's now gigantic. I'm quite excited with that one. And a red canna bed here. And let's walk around the rose garden so we can come in the right way. We do have a barberry.
Yeah, this is Japanese barberry. There's the lime and the purple.
Yeah, really nice neon. So we're going to walk around, then we're going to come into the rose garden properly. But we are going to show you the woods walk. There is a path in here that goes through the woods, nicely rock laid out, but we're just going to go on the outside right now. Hydrangeas, more of the explorer roses.
Where do you see hydrangeas?
Hostas?
Yes.
I don't know, I always do that.
Got the trumpet vines back here. They're just learning to climb and situate themselves. I haven't seen them flower yet. I can't wait to.
Hollyhock looking good.
Rhubarb back there.
Oh, yep, hiding in the back.
Sedum, irises.
And they're quite large.
another lime barberry.
He's very happy.
Yarrow.
Some periwinkle. And as you can see in here, these are the paths. There's a hollyhock there. These are the paths that takes you into the woods. There's stuff growing in there, but we're trying to want to keep this a little short. So we'll do the Horseshoe Garden.
Okay.
And you can see, I'll hold this up, you can see why we call it the Horseshoe Garden, because it's in the shape of a horseshoe entrance over here. And climbing up this sumac is what?
Honeysuckle.
It's gone right to the top. It's crazy. So that'll be nice when that completely flowers. It's got a couple flowers.
Bunny.
Yes, we got bunnies eating ate all that stuff there. So, Creeping Jenny, is that what this is?
Yes.
So that's that. We're gonna do that garden later. So that's rhubarb.
Yep.
And yep, so we'll go right through here and then we'll come up. Sorry, it's kind of hard to do the garden in one flow. Hydrangea, these are new this year, although we've had them before, is castor bean.
These are the red castor bean.
And another hydrangea tree. Some barberry. We started over there, and we've got a nice canna lily bed here. And Nellie's willow tree?
Weeping Pussy Willow tree.
Weeping Pussy Willow. We've had that this is its third year.
All these beautiful little fuzzy things on them.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. We do have a little bonsai style pine tree there. Okay, so the rose garden. And the rose garden entrance is right here. This is the only real way to get into it. It has a border around it, which is
Asiatic lilies and hostas.
okay, so that's the border. We'll take a quick walk showing you that, although you're going to get a sneak peek of some roses there. Put it on regular. There we go. So we come around here, and that, of course, continues around. It's perfect, in a perfect shape. And then we have the entrance to the rose garden. Nellie's training some.
Those are my two climbing roses. I got them bare root in the mail a few years back and had put them somewhere with no support to climb up, so they weren't super happy, so we moved them this spring.
But the roses are doing fine. Very luscious. Got a cool timepiece that actually tells the time.
Only when it's in the right spot.
So I'm going to show you the hostas in the back too, just because we're not going to go that way, so the path will continue on. And after this, we're going to go into the woods and check out the Enchanted Garden.
No close-ups of the beautiful rose fall.
Sorry, folks. There's no time to smell the roses. Yeah, I'll come over here and get a. Okay, so we're going to kind of go do something we shouldn't do, and that's step over. Okay.
Too short.
So Canna Crossing, the rock garden. And we're going to do a quick tour into the woods. And this section in here is, I think this is its 3rd year. Could be 4th. The paths need to be weeded, but it's kind of neat. It's got all these little paths, these beds filled with hostas and ferns. And you've just got these little paths that you can roam about. Kind of a neat little garden in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're not going to go that way. We'll do that at a later date. So let's come up here. And this is relatively new. You can see this whole hill has been planted with hostas. Built walls, rock walls, and hostas. I'm going to try and go slow because I always go too fast with the camera. All right, honey?
Oh, yes, you do.
So that's done, and we're going to come up in the woods. Some of these are 2 years old, but most of them, like all this, 1 year old.
Not even 1 year old.
Yeah, I guess not. You can see the rows now as we
They're
get
just
closer to them.
babies.
But in a few years, we'll be able to even probably pull out the middle ones just because they will have grown so big. And I'm just going to do a quick zoom standing here. This is another entranceway to a section of the garden. The outside, you can see that the hostas are planted in these beds. But we won't go in there right now. This is the
Enchanted Garden.
Enchanted Garden. So it's, again, new. So any hostas that you see in these beds were just planted maybe a month or so ago. So we've got to wait for them to be 2-3 years, and so they can fill in so the mushrooms won't be so predominant. And we're just going to do a quick walk through because there are lots of videos on our Enchanted Garden. And there's lots of different ways you can go, different paths. We got a maroon bed. You can see we've got the electrical all in. You'll see the electrical ever on those posts. So we've got 120 volts throughout. Some gnome houses, hobbit houses, fairy houses, what have you. And we'll be doing lighting sooner than later. I'll just swing over here. A couple more doors. We're going to fill them in, pathways. Lots of work, but this is a June tour. We're going to try and do a June, a July, and an August. So we're going to try and do 3 tours a year.
It's our work zone.
Yes.
It's
So
a mess.
this is where we paint stuff. Nellie just had some chairs out painting. We've got some mushrooms that I've done first coats on. We've got some teacups, tire art, and swan tire art, and a lot of paint. And this is where we paint at the beginning of the Enchanted Garden. Okay. So, around back, Nellie has built a tropical jungle. All sorts.
Over here's the desert zone.
Okay, so it's succulents.
It's a very dry section. Like, you look at the ground, you can tell. Even if it gets wet from the rain, it doesn't stay wet.
And some cool succulents. Oh, I missed the ones up top there. And what, 30, 40-year-old jade tree.
It's probably closer to 40, yeah.
Crasla avada. And if you've watched her video, she built this bar this year.
Every patio needs a bar.
Yeah. Plants everywhere. Definitely qualifies to be a jungle. I'm just going to sneak around here just so you can see it from this view. Things are growing in. Birds of paradise, cannas. And so we're up on the deck. Alocasias, big ones. Look at the base on that alocasia. Tanique. Elastica. Ficus.
Yeah.
And the barbecue hut is flanked by some money trees. Money, 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 money.
It's flanked by a few plants. All my air plants have taken over the hanging part.
Okay, let's just go back to the air plants. Yes. Okay, barbecue lighters and air plants.
That's my style. That's how I roll. This is my little recuperating zone.
And you might not be able to see because these have got rain covers on them, but they are succulents. And I'm just going to step back. You can, and this is Nellie's jungle. She just built this out. She brought some of our tropical plants, not all of them, half of them maybe, outside, and she's made a outdoor tropical jungle.
This area was too blank. It needed something.
Yes, you got everything from philodendrons to...
If you look at the sunburn on some of them, keep in mind that I'm brutal with my plants, and they have two choices, live or die.
They figure it out. It's usually they lose a few leaves, but...
they adapt.
Yes.
They want to be outside. That's where they naturally live.
So that's where Nellie sits, and it's that's what's right next to her. Big palm tree at the back. And these palms are probably 8-9 feet tall. Oh, I love this palm. What is this?
This is my Chinese fan palm.
Chinese?
That I drove all the way to Ottawa just to get it.
That's an hour-and-a-half drive for a fan palm. You see these in all the botanical gardens, but they're like 12 foot across leaves. Another big section of tropicals. Nellie's got an update on this, so I might seem like I'm going fast. And of course, this has all got lights in it, so it lights up beautifully at night. Nice little sitting area there. Oh, I did miss that.
My petunia tree.
Oh yeah, this is our orphanage, for those of you that haven't watched our videos. All of the
orphanage and the ICU.
Yeah, we've got a...
The ICU.
Oh.
Intensive care unit.
Yeah. But these are all just waiting to find a spot for us to go out and plant them. So there's lots of stuff. We always have plants on hand waiting to go in. Little petunia pot with some cannas. And
my daylily tree.
Yes, those daylilies are actually growing in the tree. Yes. There's a little hole in there, and Nellie packed some dirt, and they could just grow every year like that.
There were some growing somewhere I didn't want them, so I ripped them up and shoved them in there.
These are logs that had holes in them, and Nellie's filled them up with soil and put hostas in them. So they're first, and ferns, they're first year hostas.
Yeah, they're all brand new plants this year.
And this is Nellie's garden that's under construction in here. Still need to bring some more plants. We've got the brand new bed that Nellie built for some vegetables. And we've still got some electrical over here to bury, because this section is kind of back out. This section's not complete. It's a work in progress. So lots of electrical to do here. We've got mushrooms. We affectionately call this garden Nellie's Garden. And this was woods in the spring. And now pathways, rock walls, some sculptures. Another bed to be built here. So it's coming. We've got some cool sculptures, cool mushrooms, more to come. We've got another one of these tiki carved guys in our house that we're painting right now. So that'll be coming out soon. That's a bench.
Suddenly realizing I need to come out here once in a while and wipe them down.
And this is we built this year too. This is the Hillside Garden. And you can see all of these beds have hostas in them. First year hostas, so give them some time, another say 2-3 years, and this hill will look pretty spectacular. But all the beds do have hostas in them, nicely growing. Needs a little better weeding. And then once they're mature, we're going to start building some paths in here, and this will be a nice little tour for us. But yeah, from woods in the spring to now we have a nice hillside garden with all these retaining walls, all the dirt's in there, all the hostas in there. It's quite impressive. And the road, that was a noise you hear. This is right by the road. Oh yeah, look at these things. This is
our catalpa tree.
I
I don't know if I'm saying it right. I only just learned what it is.
It's the ones with the big bean.
Yes.
See if I can find a bean for everyone.
Their common names are very strange.
That's a bean pod. But very beautiful tree. I'll see if I can step back.
It's gorgeous when it's in bloom.
Yeah, just stunning. And last but not least, very new, is the pumpkin patch. And they are tiny.
It's been cold out.
And this is our pumpkin patch. We do have another path. It's just on the other side there that takes you to Fern Gully, but that has not been developed enough to show. So we're going to...
We haven't got to that at all this year.
No, we worked on it pretty hard a few years ago. So I'm just going to come up to our red chairs. I'm going to do a 360. And you can see everything, and then we're going to sign off. Okay, so zoom in a little. Rose Garden, Canna Crossing, Rock Garden, English Garden. Oh, the sun is getting us. Hillside Garden and Nellie's Garden's up there, and the Horseshoe is right there.
Okay, so that's what we have for today. Probably do another update when we decide to plant some more stuff and more things are in bloom. But hope you enjoyed the tour, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, just before we sign off, there's one more bed I just looked up and noticed that we missed. And it's right there. We just did a video of the planting of this. It's a brand new bed. So that's a Hosta Bed. And so
Hosta Bed 2.0.
Yeah, so everything's just brand new in there. So we've got to wait a few years, and then we can probably move some out because they will grow so big. But for now, so we can enjoy it, we put a little extra, or Nellie put a little extra in there. Okay guys, take care. Like and subscribe, please.